Hello, smart viewers. Welcome to Face with me, William. And as usual, I'm gonna be bringing you several topics, variously different topics in each episode. And for this episode, I'm gonna give you, more focusing on how you present yourself as a public figure, and also I'm gonna give you some of the examples of prominent public figures of all time, actually, in this segment. So for the first public figure that maybe maybe some of you know, or some of you don't know, that as smart viewers or millennials will get familiar with, so you can get inspiration from them. The first one is J.K. Rowling. Yeah, so most people probably follow Rowling on Twitter for the new tidbits she drops about her massively successful Harry Potter franchise, but more recently she has emerged as a fierce critic of global populism, smacking down figures like US President Donald Trump and former UK Independence Party leader Nigel Farage, like only a best-selling author can. So perhaps the best demonstration of her power came earlier this month when Trump suggested via Twitter that the mayor of London was wrong for telling citizens to stay calm after the June 3rd terror attack. The second one is Yao Chen. So it takes gumption to speak freely in China, especially when you have a lot to lose. That hasn't stopped the 37-year-old actress, who with 79 million followers is the most popular person on Weibo. So he has long been outspoken on the China social media platform, most recently to shine a spotlight on the global refugee crisis. Shortly thereafter, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees reappointed her as the agency's goodwill ambassador, crediting her with bringing refugee issues into the consciousness of millions of Chinese people. And the third one is Chrissy Teigen. So Chrissy, some of the most common words written in Google searches of Teigen's name are real, relatable, and all of us. Not exactly what you expect for a supermodel, best-selling cookbook author, and TV host who's married to a Grammy-winning musician, John Legend. So that's a testament to how well the 31-year-old has bridged the celebrity-civilian gap by using her vast social media platform, nearly 20 million followers between Twitter and Instagram, to share unfiltered missives about everything from plastic surgery to the unbearable duration of the Oscars. And following the birth of her daughter Luna in 2016, she has been particularly candid about motherhood, sharing her struggles with postpartum depression and shutting down a never-ending stream of mommy shamers. So those are the examples of public figures who share their experiences, and also try to give motivation, inspirations of current issues, like how a topic they are really, interested in, so they don't, be afraid to speak their minds. So for the next segment, I'm going to invite a relatable guest for sharing his experiences about his profession. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned on Face to Face. Hello, smart viewers. Welcome back to Face. Still with me, William. And as I promised on the previous segment, I'm going to invite a guest related to the topic that I just discussed, which is about, like public figures, about how you represent yourselves. And right now I have my special guest for today's episode. He is Tavan Dutton, who is an international reporter for Metro TV.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, well, I love what you got. Yeah, great setup, nice show. Very good to be here.
we can share about your current activities right now, being international reporter.
Okay, so right now, I guess my focus is on lifestyle program. I co-host a program with Maggie Callista, who's also the anchor for the Metro Simon program.
Oh.
So we both co-host this program, which focuses on culinary, lifestyle, culture, things like that.
Oh, all about food.
Yeah, it's all about food.
So everyone loves food.
Exactly, exactly. And the interesting thing about this program is that it's in mostly Mandarin language, but also in Indonesian. So I guess the concept is that everybody likes food, as you said.
Yeah.
So we want to try and bring people together through food, through language, and then explore interesting things like the culinary anthropology behind food or the background, things like that.
Yeah, so it's more than just two languages, it's like a trilingual
Right. It's trilingual.
program.
Yeah. Which can be a bit difficult sometimes, but it's,
so
it makes it interesting.
Different,
something different, exactly.
Maybe you can also share to the smart viewers like how you got interested in journalism or in presenting, like that.
Well, I guess I've always been interested in media. I remember when I was a child, my parents, they're not very strict. My parents are very open, but they did have the one rule when I was very young. The only TV I could watch was the news.
Oh, okay.
I know it sounds very sad now, right? But looking back on that, I think maybe from there. Also, my father is a professor of politics.
Oh, okay.
So I think with this background and also the fact that I grew up watching news, I think it already had me predisposed, in a position where I would want to work in media and things like that. Yeah,
particularly in news making.
Right, in news making, exactly. And I learned Indonesian, I learned Chinese, together with my passion for media and journalism. It seems like a natural progression to have the job that I'm in now.
Oh,
so I get to use my languages, and I'm also working in a field that I'm interested in.
So you can also share about your previous experiences, how you got interested in studying Indonesian or Chinese, having interest in Asian studies like that.
Yeah. It's a lot of people ask me this, obviously. So I'm from the UK, from London. My dad is from England. My mum is originally from Malaysia, but she's an Australian citizen.
Oh.
So my dad, as I said before, he's a professor of politics, but his area of focus is Chinese. So since I was a kid, I've always had experiences with Chinese culture, Chinese language. So I lived in China when I was small for a little bit, and then I was always going back there because of my dad's work. So that's how I learned Chinese, essentially. That's how I became interested in China, the culture, the language, and the food, obviously. With Indonesian, that happened quite recently, actually. I started learning Indonesian in 2014. I had an open elective. Actually, it was quite a coincidence. I had an open elective at my university.
Oh,
so I went to University of London, SOAS it's called. And I had one free class that I could have done something with, and I didn't know what to do. And then I looked and I saw they had Indonesian language. My mum is from Kalimantan, but the Malaysian side.
Oh,
so at first I thought, well, it's probably quite similar, you know what I mean? Hopefully I can learn this and then learn the other. And then I'd never been to Indonesia before at that time. I'd been to Malaysia and Kalimantan many times. So I decided to learn Indonesian because of that. And then I came to Indonesia in 2014 on the Dharma Siswa scholarship for foreign students. And I love the place, basically. I love the food, the people, very friendly, the culture is amazing. I love the weather as well. And then, basically I fell in love with Indonesia.
It's always sunny.
I know, it's great, which is a nice
tropical.
change. It's a nice change from London, which is always miserable, raining, and cloudy. Right? So I just basically fell in love with Indonesia, and I started learning. I continued learning Indonesia after my 1 year in Bandung. Went back to the UK, continued learning it, and then I came back here on a holiday and got this job at Metro TV.
Oh, okay.
So it was quite. I guess it was. Nothing was planned, It was just.
It was like an organic kind of path.
Exactly. And I think that's quite important, I never placed deadlines on myself. I never put I have to be here by this age or something like that. I guess for me, I just followed my passions, and then one thing led to another, and then that's how I got into the position I am now, I guess.
And also, you can share about your experience currently being presenting a culinary, also previously you are international reporter.
Right.
So what are your presenting a news making, or what are your contributions or involvement in Metro TV?
Right. Well, obviously, presenting news, hard news, and then presenting things like food is very different. Both have their own difficulties. Both have things that are easier. So with the Metro Sinwan, with the regular bulletin news program, it's a lot more fast-paced.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, every day, you'll have to come up with something new, get out into the field, things like that. But at the same time, it's a lot shorter, obviously, because of the time limits that are placed on bulletin news.
It's go, go, go.
Exactly, it's go, go, go. But then at the same time, so it's not that you don't have to do something in depth. You just have to do something very rapid rate, I guess. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's also fun. It's just that's the challenge with bulletin news. With the culinary program that I'm doing now, first, I just want to stress to the viewers, it's not just eating and it's not just happy. There's a lot of hard work, and most of the time when I eat, I'll only eat like one mouthful, one bite, and then we'll have to move on, and then one bite, have to move on. So half the time, I'll be starving, seeing all this delicious food, and then I'll only get one bite, and then we'll have to move on. But so it's a lot more slow-paced. You have time to edit, time to make the script more, make the script fuller, but it has to be a lot more in-depth. So there's a lot more research involved, and there's a lot more kind of, more lengthy scripts.
Oh yeah. So I'm curious about how you kind of present or bring the news in Chinese language. So maybe you can show to the smart viewers how you kind of give report in Chinese language. Maybe just a brief moment.
Oh, should I? I'll do a report now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Here, stand. Should I stand? Sit?
Just sit and look at the camera.
Okay. 那观众朋友，欢迎收看 Venus 大学节目 Face to Face。我首先我是从英国来的特派记者马天天。首先我要说，我特别支持这个节目，因为这个节目很显示Venus 大学生的创造力，而且每个星期他们请来了一个来宾，一个很有趣的人。我不是说是我没有那么骄傲，但是此外呢，我觉得媒体专业也是一种21世纪的专业，我觉得这个很有用，而且呢，学生们可以学到各种各样的新的技术。那最后，我想感谢我今天的主持人 William， 希望他在媒体上的工作会成功，步步高升。想看多的话，看 Venus TV 的节目，而且如果想看我的话，看我和美都新闻主播每期的节目《健康美食》，每个礼拜天早上9点，不见不散。
Okay, that was impressive.
You have to do the most important thing is the smile, the awkward smile at the end.
The smiley ending. Okay,
exactly.
Well, this conversation is getting interesting, but we're gonna have to take a little break.
Right,
so stay tuned on Face to Face. Hello, smart viewers. Welcome back to Face to Face. Still with me, William, and we're continuing our conversation with Tavan Dutton, who is an international reporter and also presenter for Metro TV, particularly in Chinese and in English also. Yeah. And you just shared your experiences. Try to give some backgrounds about how you got interested in language and in media. Here we actually have some of your photos.
Oh, God.
Of your past experiences. Yeah. Maybe we can take a look.
Sure. Let's have a look. I hope they're good.
Yeah. We can share about this photo.
Right. Okay. This is when I met Bang Andy Noya. So it's quite a funny story actually. Like when I first started working at Metro TV, I just moved to Indonesia, and then I met Andy Noya for the first time, and then he goes, oh, so like you're the new bule like that, you know, the new bule metro, yeah. Like, and I said, yeah. I was like, hey, I was like, so, and the first thing I said to him was like, so you also work in Metro TV, yeah? I just moved to Indonesia. I didn't know he was a big star, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I said, oh, you're also in Metro TV? He's like, yeah, I think so, like that. Like, so luckily he was a really humble, funny kind of guy, and you know, and from there we started talking when I saw him around the office, and he actually agreed to come on mine and Maggie Callista's show, Tasty and Healthy. So we did a special episode with Andy Noya about Papuan food, because he grew up in Papua.
Oh, yeah. So related to guests of each episode.
Yeah, so he was a guest on one of our shows, which was an honor because obviously he's an amazing Indonesian media figure, right?
Yeah. Okay, for the next photo.
Yes.
You can share about this photo.
So this is also for shooting for Tasty and Healthy.
Yeah.
There's Maggie and I, and we're wearing big. So that's not our normal clothes.
Yeah, obviously.
That is for Chinese, Chinatown. So the segment was about Chinatown in Bandung.
In Bandung. Oh.
That's why we have Kang Emil and Teh Atalia, the mayor and his wife.
Yeah.
So with this one, there was a bit of a background story as well. This episode hasn't aired yet.
Oh, okay.
It's in the making now. We've made it actually, but we couldn't air it because Kang Emil right now is obviously running for governor of West Java.
Oh, yeah.
So we made this episode, we went to Bandung, we filmed it, we made it, edited it, etc., etc. And then we were told that, you know, there's a KPU, the KPU law that says you can't show,
because of the elections.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't show a candidate before the election's finished in the masa kampanye, the campaign season.
Yeah. Okay.
So this one had to get on hold, but the episode's done. So, you know,
so
stay
it's a little
tuned.
sneak peek.
Yeah, exactly. So stay tuned, and we're going to have Bandung Chinatown with Kang Emil and Teh Atalia on Tasty Healthy.
How about the next photo? Oh yeah, maybe you can share about this photo.
Mm-hmm.
Seems a little like serious,
Yeah.
serious mode.
Actually, yeah, I was very nervous then. This was about a year and a half ago when I first came to Indonesia, when I first started working at Metro. This is when I was still training. So in Metro TV, they have a training program. Right now it's called the General Development Program.
Oh.
This is when I was on a training program, and I was just learning how to do on-cam, and at first I was terrible. Like, at first when I saw a camera, I would just freeze up, and you know, I was really nervous, and especially when I'm doing it in Chinese and Indonesian, you know, like, what, gagap, like stuttering and stuff like that. And then the worst thing was, in this photo, was also we had to train in all kinds of circumstances and stuff like that. We did this at Metro TV, it's in the car park, and it was boiling hot, like really hot. I'd just come from England. I wasn't used to it, wearing that thick, that black Metro TV uniform, and then I was already nervous in front of the camera, and I was sweating.
Distracting elements.
Exactly. So that photo, I was really like, it was tough, but you know, I mean, no one starts off good, right? No one starts off amazing at anything. Like, it's always a learning process, and that was part of my learning process.
Okay.
It was very tough, yeah.
You gotta start from somewhere. Yeah?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Maybe we can show the next photo. Oh, okay, yeah. So those are your past experiences,
right,
you know, like some of memorable ones.
Definitely, yeah, some memorable ones for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and also you're also stated as you know, like, as, you know, someone who is in public, in camera, you know, like maybe there's a responsibility to, you know, kind of like being responsible for good contents, you know, like what are your thoughts about that?
About
like how you try to make good contents out
right.
you know, like this program or something.
I think I mean, you know, as you know as well, like any kind of broadcast media, it's all essentially about ratings and who views it and how to cater things for the audience that you intend, right? So I guess one of the things that you constantly have to work towards as anyone on screen, even, it doesn't matter whether it's news or entertainment or anything, but you guys basically have to cater towards a certain demographic, a certain audience. So for instance, we'll cater to make it more accessible. So in Tasty Healthy, we try not to eat too many non-halal foods, for instance, things like that. We try to make it a bit younger because Metro, especially Sinwan, the audience is usually like a little bit older. So we're trying to make this a bit more youthful, catch the attention of younger people.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I guess it's all about like, and we have to find the tricks that make these things that grab people's attention. So find things that
sort of finding the balance.
Yeah, exactly, and then just keeping an eye on like what's trending. For instance, like Metro TV is very quite orthodox, conservative style.
Yeah.
So like what we wanted to do in our program was try and make more relaxed, like try and make it more like vloggy, because right now vlogs are trending and YouTube. I mean, internet is the future, right?
Yeah.
Of media. So we tried to incorporate a few elements of like what's trending now, kind of thing. Yeah.
So for the next question, maybe you can share about, share some tips or some suggestions for our smart viewers who are interested in like media, working in the media, or try to finding their passion. Maybe you have something to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, everything takes a lot of work, no matter what you do or where you want to go, and like everything also may seem, you might think something's like this way, but then it turns out to be another way different to how you expected. Yeah. So I think whatever anyone wants to do, at least just follow your passions, basically. So anything can be enjoyable. Everything takes a lot of hard work, but hard work can be a lot easier if it's your passion. So I think just follow your passions and don't set too many deadlines, I guess. Like I have to be here by the time I'm 26, or by the time I'm 29 I have to do this and this and this. I guess just follow, like if people want to continue study. If you enjoy that, then do that. If you enjoy media, then try it out, work towards it, and then try. You may as well, you got to be in it to win it. You got to try things to know if you like them or not.
Oh, I always intended to try new things.
Exactly, try new things, and if you don't like it, then that's a lesson, right? So just don't set deadlines, don't be hard on yourself, and follow your passions. That's what I would say.
Okay, so Tavan, thank you so much for coming to the show.
Yep.
We hope that your experiences can bring motivation, inspiration for smart viewers out there.
I hope so, yeah.
So we've come to the end of the show. I'm William Grinaldi. I'll be seeing you in another episode at the same time and same channel. So until then, bye-bye.